Hi collective, how is it going? My name is Joy and this is INXJOY. Today we're doing a reading on what makes you different. We have 5 piles to choose from today. We have pile 1 with the trilobite. We have pile 2 with the healerite. We have pile 3 with the jade. We have pile 4 with the sodalite. And we have pile 5 with the snow quartz. Please take a second to choose your pile, and as always, timestamps will be listed down below. I'll see you there. Bye. Hi pile 1. If you chose the trilobite, then this is your reading. Apologies if I sound a little bit more sniffly if I sniff throughout. I'm a little sick right now. I'm just also going through another spiritual awakening. But I really wanted to get this video out, and I wanted to do a video just for fun. Yeah. So with the trilobite, you have the text of helps to assist through transition, transformation, and personal growth, supports the growth of moving from the old to the new, as well as opening one to be receptive to fresh, innovative energies. Alright, I'm gonna put that to the side for now. But as of right now, if you've chosen this pile, what makes you different is the fact that you are someone who is okay with change. You're someone who's okay to kind of let the old die out, and you can see the beauty in the change of the seasons. For example, when you recognize that you're in a slower period of life, let's say winter, you kind of see the beauty of the slowness. You see how this time in your life is very healing, very nurturing, and it gives you a very serene sense, a peaceful sense of who you are and that you are where you need to be. But we're gonna go through some more cards just to see what makes you different. So what makes my pile 1's difference? What makes my pile 1's difference? Okay. What makes my pile 1's difference? Okay. So far with your cards, you have Forget-Me-Nots, Eternal Memories. The best things in life are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you've made along the way. You also have Coreopsis, Always Joyful. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. And you also have Red Rose, Hidden Secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. In terms of these cards, these oracle cards, it feels like you're someone, again, who is very receptive to fresh, new energies. You are someone who looks at the positive aspects of life. You're very optimistic, and again, whatever scenario you're in, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you'll always find the lesson in that scenario. You've mastered change, and you've mastered the symbolically in numerology, like the number 5, change, conflicts, things of that nature, things that most people are really afraid of. You are someone who have mastered it quite swimmingly. You know how to hold people's secrets as well. So what makes you different is that you're someone who can keep secrets really well. You're probably someone in that friend group that everyone goes to, or that family member that people go to whenever they're having trouble. You're very non-judgmental, and people know that you won't gossip to other people if you listen to what they're going through. And because of that, you're a very trusted and beloved person within whatever community, whatever friend group, whatever family dynamic you have. This can also be at work as well, but again, it feels very much like the people closest to you, the ones that are very intimate with you, are people that really treasure you for the amount of trust they have in you. They treasure you because you're someone, again, who's very non-judgmental, and they feel like you can be someone they go to for advice or for a lending ear. And what else that makes you different is you're someone who really lives in the moment. You're very present. With this Eternal Memories card, you make the best out of every day, and even if you're having a bad day that day, again, you're someone who can see the lessons, and you can see why you were going through that. You have a very, energetically, you might be or numerologically, your soul might be soul urge number 5. You might have personal growth number 5. This might be your year 5, even though in the calendar this year this is 8 for everyone. You might be in a personal growth year of 5. And 5 really just symbolizes transitions, transformations, personal growth. And again, you're someone who really takes things that might be more a harder challenge for people. You kind of take that and you run with it. You again see the beauty in it, and you see that at the end of the day, it is a memory for you. At the end of the day, it has made you who you are. It's made you the person that you want to become. It's given you reason to really grow and change. And people really, you're not only people, but yourself and your spirit guides and divine source really want to highlight the fact that you're someone who is very optimistic and who makes the best out of life. And yeah, you walk around life without a bitter taste in your mouth. You're very sweet. You're very much like honey. You, in the sense of also that you are like a preservative in yourself. Like, you will not need other things to help you live a long, happy, healthy life. And if you are very existential, like what this channel is made for, then it might be reassuring for you to hear that throughout your life you will live a long, happy, healthy life because of the fact that you are so optimistic, that you have so much joy, and you can always find the lessons in whatever challenges come your way. And again, this is not to be overly toxic, positive in the sense that you never have bad days. It's just to remind you that even when you do have bad days, you make the most of it, and you know how to take care of yourself in order for you to get through those bad days. And you walk around life without a jaded kind of expression. You walk around very childlike, very joyful, and you see the world with brand new eyes every day. And you take the experiences you have in the past in order to make better judgment and choices in the future. Okay, so we're also gonna get some more oracle cards from the zodiac. For my pile number 1. Okay, thank you. You have eclipse in Capricorn, new direction, as well as sun in Aquarius, opportunity. And I think that's beautiful, because not only do you have a very optimistic, joyful expression of life, you are also someone who works towards that. With this eclipse in Capricorn, you are someone who will always guarantee success because of the hard work you put into whatever you do. And I'm being reminded of sometimes so wait, let me take myself out of this. So when it comes to you and what makes you different, it's the fact that when people look at you and all the successes you have, people don't necessarily see the hard work that you've done. People don't necessarily know how much you've done in order to get to where you are, but there is a very, very strong sense of you knowing how to climb the mountain. With this Capricorn, you are literally the GOAT. You are the greatest of all time, but also you are someone who can pivot yourself in any new direction, because you know how to work with the energies around you, you know how to work with the environment around you, and you know how to really put yourself up to success, and you're not someone who's going to back down from the challenge. You will see it as a way to grow and improve yourself and make yourself someone who will work really hard towards your goals. Yeah, and it's not like, people might see you as someone who's super lucky in what you have, but you yourself, you're different, because you know the things that you've accomplished are because of your hard work, because you've really taken the time to evaluate your success, and you've really taken the time to put yourself in different scenarios, in different directions, in different points of transformation for your growth. And that is why you have the accolades that you do today. That is why you're afforded good karma today. It's because what makes you different is that you're someone who puts in the work. You know, you're very ambitious. You're someone who's very much willing to put in the hours of time needed to make your success a success. And with the sun in Aquarius opportunity, it just really highlights this readiness to change. This really highlights the fact that what makes you different is that you see the opportunities in your life and you take it. You know, you don't let it pass you by. You let it really be a guiding light for you to step into yourself, whatever that may be. And it might be different than everybody else. It might be a bit more weirder. It might be strange. It might be you're someone who's ahead of the curve. You're someone who has a huge heart, who's very humanitarian, and because of that, you are afforded these opportunities to guide other people. You are the blueprint that people want to follow. You are a leader. Oh. Okay. We're also gonna get some Goddess and Siren cards. Alright, Divine Source, please. Thank you. Oh, we love that. We love that for you. This feels right. This feels right. Okay. That was so fast. Your energy is so clear. It's so nice. You have Lakshmi, prosperity, as well as White Buffalo Woman, peace. These are beautiful cards to have. Again, this is just a reinforcement and a highlight of the previous cards. So this is just a confirmation of like the lotus flower, you are someone who has probably grown up in an environment that was a lot harsher to grow in, and most people wouldn't be able to be where you're at because they would have been bitter. But for you, what makes you different is that you are like the lotus flower in the sense of you thrive in more muddy, murky, unclear environments. You thrive in environments where most people will fail. You are someone who plays life on the deity mode if you're a Civ player, or you play life on the hard mode. You play life in like hardcore mode, and because of that you are very prosperous in that you know the challenges that come your way are opportunities for you to really create a new sense of self in you. And because of this transformation, this fresh, new, innovative energy that comes to you, you grow into someone who is very peaceful. You know, even though you carry the number 5, and that comes with conflict, comes with challenges, comes with change, you are someone who's cultivated such a inner peace within yourself, someone who has a really big discernment as well, because the white buffalo woman in her mythology, it's that she is approached by 2 men, and one of them wants to kind of take advantage of her, and the other one wants to like see her for who she is and respect her for who she is. And obviously the one who sees her for who she is and respects her for who she is alive, you know? There's someone who gets to sorry about that, someone who gets to really bask in the glory of who you are. You're someone, again, she is someone who discerns the fact that within those 2 men, she can tell which one is there to respect her versus who's there to kind of put ownership on her. So with this white buffalo woman of peace, you've gained this peace through an amount of discernment. You are someone who has a very sharp mind, someone who, because of the challenges you've gone through in the past, like I said earlier, you're someone who takes the past experiences that you have, the really challenging, the really difficult, the really high stress environments that you've been in, and you've taken that so that you can make better decisions in the future. You've taken that so that you know what's right for you and what's not. You're someone who has created this inner peace and cultivated it outwardly because you know who to keep around you and who to keep you close. Yeah. Okay, and we're gonna finish this off with a new deck in the collection, which we love for your pile, because your pile energetically is just so amazing. Like there's not a lot of people like you out there in the world who takes the challenges and adversaries in your life and has gotten to still be yourself. You still carry a very childlike, joyful, very optimistic energy. You haven't let the world jaded you. You've seen the world and you've seen it for what it is, and you are still you regardless. All right, so just to get 3 more tarot cards for my pile number 1s. Divine Source, if we can just get 3 cards to encapsulate my pile number 1's energies of why they are different. Just 1 more card, if that is okay. We can have, okay. Okay. 2 cards is too cool too. Why not? Okay. Alright, so you have the Ace of Swords, which looks like the Ace of Air in this photo. You have what appears to be the King of Cups, as well as the King of Pentacles, and you have the Empress in reverse, which I'm hearing it should be upright, so we're gonna keep it upright. And let me show you the cards. So this is the Ace of Wands. I mean, not the Ace. Oh my God, this is the Ace of Wands. I'm not sorry. Yeah, okay, that's the Ace of Wands. But because of this air energy, okay, we're gonna get into it. The King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, as well as this Empress. Oh, okay. You have very masculine energies in the sense of you are someone who kind of takes life's you kind of take life's, like the saying of like, you take the bull by the horns, you know? All right, I'm gonna close my eyes and see which way this falls. Okay. All right, so with all this masculine energy, you're someone who can start something fast, and you start something with such grace and such vivacity. Let me double check. Okay. Okay. So because I mistaken this Ace of Wands for the Ace of Swords, I'm going to read both descriptions for you. So the Ace of Wands is a gift of creative energy and will. You seize the wand and set forth on your quests. The key meanings are energy, action, sped up, dormant force, and awaken, and magic. And the Ace of Swords is the gift of clarity. A new idea is divinely inspired. Grasp the sword of truth and vision, which key meanings are fresh ideas, intelligence, communication, a more exalted point of view. And I'm only reading the descriptions of these decks because this is a new deck and we love to incorporate and learn more about it. So when it comes to you, you are someone who has a very passionate, but like fiery will towards you to be creative and to create new things. Again, with this transformation is both the destruction of the old and the bringing of the new, and you're someone who brings in that new energy of vivacity, of life, of a sense of, you do it so well that you do it so elegantly, and you are able to communicate to others the ways in which things need to be done. To build a castle, to build like a home, to build an empire. So you're someone who is a leader. You are someone like this Capricorn energy is someone who can transform things for the better, for the new. Yeah. And with both the kings here, the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, you have a really firm grasp of energy when it comes to being able to handle your emotions. With the water literally encapsulating this king, he sits very still. He sits very calmly. If you know the character Chuck Bass in Gossip Girl, it kind of gives off that energy, you know? You're someone who you can't easily be shaken up, you know? You can't easily be manipulated. You are someone who can hold your ground hold your emotions. And you like, the thing is that it's not that you don't wear your heart on your sleeve. It's not like you don't express yourself. It's more of the fact that you come in life with more of a cerebral mind. You come in to life with a good head on your shoulders. And I think this is where the Empress card really complements, you know? You have a good balance of your masculine and feminine sides. But with this Empress card here, you're very receptive to people. And because you can carry a good head on your shoulders, your emotional states are very under control. You are someone who, again, because you have like this detachment in emotions. You might have your moon in Aquarius. I know it says sun in Aquarius here, but it feels a lot like someone with their moon in Aquarius who has an emotional detachment and who can see the bigger picture of what's going on. And because of that, it kind of affords you a very emotionally stable life. And it gives you this, again, opportunity to be very prosperous. With the King of Coins as your last card, it feels like because you have this really good head on your shoulders, and because you can control yourself in so many ways, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, you are afforded a life that is a lot more comfortable than most. You are afforded a life that is very prosperous, you know? Again, you are the king, you know? You are, and again, king being a gender neutral term, anyone can be king. Throughout history, you see both men and women being kings. So it's, you know, it doesn't really matter what you identify as. But in terms of what position you hold in life, you are someone who has authority. You are someone who has the higher knowledge and wisdom, and again, better perspective to be able to look at things that are tough, look at things that are a bit more, people would think are more challenging, but you look at the brighter side, because you see how in this card, the king, although his hand is on the bull with a more melancholy face, he looks towards the bull who has a more benevolent demeanor. So he looks towards the optimistic and positive side, with being very realistic from past experience, with understanding the challenges that you may face, that he may face in order to get to where his success is. He will always come out successful. And I'm talking about the character in this, so I'm not talking about like your specific gender expression. But anyways, when it comes to you, what makes you different is the fact that you have gone through very harsh experiences, very challenging experiences that not a lot of people that can come out of these experiences and be who you are. You're someone who's still very optimistic, very joyful, who has taken those more negative experiences and you still see life in a very blessed way, you know? And because of that, you're afforded prosperity, you're afforded peace, you're afforded a life that has accumulated all this good karma. So yeah, for my pile number ones, what makes you different is your willingness to go head into the war, into a conflict, and come out not only surviving but thriving, not only being a soldier but a leader, and how you condone yourself and how other people look at you. You might be someone, again, who is, you're very different from the rest because you can really see all the things that's happened to you in the past, and you can make your present and future a lot more prosperous because of it. It only fuels, your past only fuels your future, and you're someone who works really hard for the things that you have now and the things that you will receive in the future. So yeah, that's what I have for you today, my Padawans. You are just rock stars, you know? And it's definitely a wonderful energy to be in. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. I hope you had fun with this one. And I hope you have a good day. Take care. Hi, pal number 2s. If you've chosen this Healerite crystal, as well as the description, and this is your this is your pile. Sorry. Alright, so let's start off with just telling you what Healerite is. Healerite stimulates healing on a cellular level, protects against radiation, cleanses the meridians, encourages all cells and systems to harmonize with one another to bring about holistic balance, aids in aligning chakras, particularly the heart and solar plexus. Alright, so today we're looking at what makes you different, and by the description and gemstone of your pile today, it definitely feels like you are someone who is a healer. I'm not sure if you like to identify with that or not, but in some quality or aspects, there is a side of you that your presence is just a healing presence. You might be practicing healing techniques such as Reiki or Hilot, which is a massage technique from the Philippines. You might also be practicing any shamanic healing or any remote distance healing. There's a lot of different levels in which you can be a healer. You might not identify with it, but you can also be a healer in the sense of being someone who's an emotional support to the people around you. And again, your energetic presence just carries a signature in which wherever you go, things start to align up, things start to go as planned in the divine way that it's intended. There is a very close link to you and nature, and there is a sense of calmness and stillness and kind of a warm breeze, sort of a energetic signature that you give off. All right, so let's get into your cards today. And I just saw 2 2s. So again, you might be someone who's really peaceful, who's someone who harmonizes with not only the people around you, but the environment around you. So you might have a really close sense to nature as well. You might also identify as a green witch. Yeah, so that sounds like you, and this is your pile. And we're just gonna dive into the question of what makes you different today. So, Divine Source, please connect me to my pile 2s. Oh, thank you. That was fast. Alright, so you have the cards Camellia, Hyacinth, as well as Anemone. Today we're first going to start off with the oracles and then go into the tarot, just because I like to get a kind of overall theme of how you're different, and then we're going to go into more specifics with the tarot. So With your cards, you have the descriptions of destiny, playfulness, and anticipation. So what makes you different is, I really do love this because it really feels like it is so in line with the Healerite crystal. With the card of destiny, you have such a personal power about you. There's something that's so connected. You are so connected to the nature around you, to the people around you. You are someone who aligns people with their destiny, and you're someone who's also someone who's always in line with your own destiny. And there is something about you that has a strong personal power that recognizes that you work with the divine, you know? You are someone who recognizes that you are connected to something greater than yourself, and in that way you work with the divine. And you do it in such a playful and fun and enthusiastic way. There's a very childlike happiness to you, and that affords you this brilliance in adulthood. It affords you this wonder and naivete when you go out into the world, and naivete in a very open and very loving sense. So when you go out into the world, you are someone who you don't let the negativity get to you. You're someone who it doesn't mean that you don't you shun it out. No, it's like you recognize that it's supposed to be there, just like my pile ones. I'm not sure if you've also listened to pile one, but you might have. But just like being able to change and transform and understand the transitional aspects of life, you're someone who brings a playfulness to it because you recognize that it's just a part of life. And what makes you different than my pile ones is the fact that there is a larger sense of destiny at work. There's a larger sense of being aligned to yourself, to your body, to your soul. You might be someone who's already tapped into your Akashic records. So what you're playing out in this lifetime is something that's very natural to you. You know, you might already be someone who's spiritually gifted. You're someone who already can intuitively connect. You don't really have a hard time with that. You might be my spiritual babies or my sensitive pile, the powerfulness of being able to sense the world around you. You're someone who recognizes that your sensitivity is one of your greatest strengths because it affords you a greater perception of yourself, those around you, and the environment at large. And with that, there is an acute anticipation about you. You know when things are coming. There is a predictive and psychic aspect to your soul. This might have come in as anxiety, or still might come in as anxiety sometimes, but because you recognize and have had emotional healing within yourself, you also understand that that anxiety is anticipation, is an awareness to something greater and something that's happening around you. So you take those emotions and you don't just crumble within it. You take that anxiety, you take that anticipation, and you recognize those are guiding factors in which what you should be doing at the moment. So for example, let's say you are super anxious about a test coming up because this is an important test. You recognize the importance that this test has, and other than just crumbling to the anxiety of the anticipation of the test, you will use that anxiety as a energy force to work with, so that you study more deeply, so that you get the rest you need, so that you're prepared for the next day, so that you take the necessary actions to align yourself in the best way possible to succeed in that test. You recognize that sometimes you need to be pulled back like an arrow so that you can be released and launched into something big. There is a big destiny aspect with your pile, and that's what makes you different, is the fact that you are so connected with the divine that you will always be aligned with your destiny. You will always be aligned by making choices with your own full autonomy that is for your greater soul, for your best outcome, that serves not only the community but yourself in a higher purpose, in a divine purpose way. And you're heavily protected against those that try to veer you off your path. You have an acute sense of knowing who's for you and who's not for you because of this holistic balance that you have. Yeah, okay. We're gonna continue forward and get you some zodiac moon cards. So let me just align this. Gonna get a couple of cards for my pile twos on what makes them different. What makes my pile twos different? Divine Source, what makes my pile twos different? You have Sun in Pisces, which is what we are in right now. Again, these are timeless readings, but I'm filming this as we move into the Pisces season. And we also have Sun in Libra. Wow, okay, so wow! It's literally align yourself with love and wisdom, higher purpose, as well as enjoy life with music, love, and romance, harmony. And these are just confirmation messages on what we've been talking about so far. So this might sound repetitive, but again, repetition is the mother of knowledge. So it is just trying to highlight the fact that you are someone that is very connected and in tune and aligned with the divine. You have such a you radiate such a huge, powerful light being. You might associate yourself with being a starseed. You recognize that this lifetime you came here for a purpose. It's not just like a la-di-da, blase kind of mentality you have. No, you're someone who really dives into the fact that you're in this world for a reason, and you recognize that reason. And part of that reason is to create this healing, harmonious, and peaceful aspect on the planet. You are someone who really brings people together, and you bring such a vivacity about you. There is just a very Venusian energy about you in which you love. You might have really loved celebrating Valentine's Day, or you still do. You love romance, you love partnerships, and you love music. So there's intrinsically a emotional healing that you do, whether you're aware of it or not, to whatever place you go to. There is just such a relaxing presence, a letting go, a sigh of relief that you bring everywhere you go. And that's because you yourself, within your core, what makes you different is that you have this huge ball of radiating energy that is so healing. Like I can literally feel my hands getting so warm and feeling that healing energy rushing through me. So there's an alignment that you really carry in your energetic signature. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you're doing and what profession you're in or how you condone yourself with your friends and family. Like this doesn't mean you don't exude different emotions. You exude all the emotions, but those emotions are what is in tune with the purpose at this time. For example, you're not just all love and light like the toxic positivity spiritual community preaches. You are someone that recognizes your depth and darkness. You recognize that not everything is always peaceful. Sometimes there is this change that's necessary. Sometimes you need to get angry. Sometimes you need to get loud. Sometimes you need to put your foot down and say no, you know? You're someone who's very aligned that way, so you don't shun any of the quote unquote bad emotions. You don't see them as bad, you see them as part of yourself, and so you allow those emotions to flow through you, and in that way you align yourself with what's best at that time. For example, if someone's treating you wrong, someone's disrespecting you in any way, you will get mad. And that anger, you will use that energy so that you can stand up for yourself. You will use that energy so that you aren't disrespected, because what you do is always for the best outcome. What you do is for the higher collective, for the betterment of all. And if someone can't see that, you will put them in their place so that they know. You know, like there's such a huge protective energy with you, like, and like there might be times where you have felt uncomfortable that way, and people might have villainized you for those sentiments, but you recognize that you needed to be the villain in that sense. Like you weren't really a villain, you were just a way shower, and like you might be okay with being the villain because you recognize in those narratives that other people might have of you, you recognize that you give them purpose, whether or not they see you as a hero or a villain or a neutral party or a friend, a foe, or whatever. Those labels don't really matter to you. It's more of the fact that you know what you say and how you say it is the way it needs to is the way it needs to come across, you know? And sometimes that might make you feel uncomfortable, and sometimes you might have worked towards really owning these feelings, but there's a progression of you. There's a progression that you bring, and that is really what makes you different. Is that sense of higher purpose, is that sense of progression, is that sense of being able to harmonize on all levels and be in line with the divine. There's just a huge connectedness about you that makes you different. Whew. I really love that for you. Okay. Divine source, oh, thank you. You have Nui, which is expansiveness, and I think that's perfect because we've been talking about how expansive you are in terms of aligning others, because you're already so aligned yourself when it comes to what your divine purpose is. Oh, and of course, as I say that, we get Pele, purpose. There's literally 3 cards here that highlight purpose in your reading. So if you don't believe that you're aligned with your higher purpose, with what the divine source wants you to be aligned with what you've already written down in your Akashic records, well, you best believe it. These are 3 different cards that really state, hey, you are someone who is purposeful. You are someone who is in line with destiny. You are someone who, knowing that you have freedom of choice, you choose the choices that are best aligned with who you are and what the world is asking of you. Like there is a existential joy about you, and this is what my channel is all about, which is being in this state where you are always choosing to be aligned with your destiny, with your path, with your existence. You recognize that you are here for a reason and nothing's gonna stop you for achieving that goal. Oh, chills. You give me chills. We love that so much for you. Oh my goodness. So please, I really hope you really understand and take in how well endowed you are this lifetime in achieving the goals you've set out for yourself. And again, it doesn't matter what profession you're in. It doesn't matter if you're in domestic work, if you are a stay-at-home person, if you are someone who is a student right now, it doesn't matter if you don't feel like you're doing what you need to do. Just know that you are doing what you need to do. And that even includes, if you need a day of rest, take that day of rest, you know? And I don't need to be telling you this. I feel like you already know this. You don't need anyone to lecture you or tell you what to do. You're probably here on this pick a card reading just for funsies, you know? You're already so aligned. And if not for funsies, you're just here for the reminder that you are doing what you need to do and you are very aligned with your purpose. That's what makes you so different, is that you know who you are, you know what you're supposed to do, and you're ready to expand that out into the world. You have the 6 of Swords. I get specific messages for my pile 2s on their divine purpose. Thank you. You also have the Queen of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. I think that's amazing for you. Let me just move these. Yeah, there's a big balance that you have with your energy too. You know, again, it's not just all love and light. There is a depth and darkness that you carry. And I think that really aids in your expansiveness and understanding what you need to do, you know? All right, so with the 6 of Swords, let's start off with that. With the 6 of Swords, you are someone who, you break the glass ceiling. You might be someone who's ultra feminist, which we love on this channel. You might be someone who doesn't take anyone's bullshit, you know? You see something that's not working right and you leave. Point blank, period. You take all the necessary items, your loved ones, your loved possessions you need, and you exit quickly out of scenarios that you no longer belong to. For example, you might have been someone in the recent past years who has opted out of friend groups, opted out of talking to your family, opted out of talking to people that you used to be very close with. You might have changed jobs or just had this major transition in your life where you left something that was no longer serving you. And it was for your highest good, and you recognized that. And in doing so, you broke the glass ceiling for so many other people. You made them realize what they'd lost. You made them realize how poorly they were treating you and how much they need to change in that regard. With this Queen of Pentacles here, you're someone who is more introverted in a healing sense. So you're not someone who will outright go to a quote-unquote healer for healing. It's because you yourself know how to do it better. You yourself know how to heal yourself with the resources you have. Again, this really draws me back into being a green witch. So if you're not a green witch already, you could probably benefit from practices of that nature. And if not, you could benefit from any healing practices that you're already doing or that interest you. I'm also getting sonic healing, water healing, things like that will be very beneficial for you. But there's an expansiveness that you have that's connected with your mind over this recognition of being so tapped into and aware of the nature that you possess. You know, there is a very big sense of being able to come back into yourself when you need the time to. When you know that you need healing, when you know you need rest, you will give yourself that time. And you'll do it in a very practical way, you know? You might eat foods that nurture your soul. You might do physical activities that get your heart rate and blood moving throughout your body, you know? You might, again, just rest and meditate so that you can heal. But there's a very inward sense of this introvertedness of how you heal yourself, generally. And with this Seven of Swords here, you know how to balance out what you need to go along with your path and what you need to leave behind, you know? And you do so in ways where you communicate what's necessary for you, especially with a lot of these swords here. You are someone who, with the public, with people around you, with your loved ones, you know the right words to say it and when to say it in order to provide that healing, in order to provide that expansiveness, that protection. Like you carefully choose your words. You're someone who is very calm in their demeanor, and you will say things that will hit harder because of the fact that you have this quiet powerfulness about you. So when you speak, your words really matter. I'm gonna get you 2 more cards from a different deck that I haven't pulled. All right, there's something very practical about you. So we are getting some practical spells for the everyday. And again, tune in if you want to, and if not, that's okay. This is gonna just be for those that resonate with being a green witch or wanting to get into that practice. So For my healing spells, of course. For my pile 2, can we get some cards just to recognize what makes them different? Okay, sure. We'll take all of those cards. Why not? So the first card that immediately popped up was this healing spells card. And in this healing spells, you have herbal healing essence. For an immune system boost, crush a mixture of equal parts rosemary, sandalwood, and the petals of red carnation. Place the crushed herbs in a colored glass jar filled with virgin olive oil. After 7 days, storage on a windowsill as to be exposed to both the sun and the moon. Strain and place the infused oil back into the jar. You now have a hearty supply of homemade healing oil to use in the bath or to rub on your pulse points, temples, wrists, backs, and knees, and behind the ears. As soon as you feel run down, one application should make a difference. You also have everyday spells, vision incense. Anytime you want to fill your space with an inspirational aroma, burn this incense for heightened senses. On Wednesday, use a mortar and pestle to grind and mix the following dried herbs: 1 part clove, 3 parts chicory root, and 3 parts cinquefoil. Burn the herbs in a fireproof piece of pottery or glass bowl. If the new moon falls on this particular Wednesday, so much the better. The incense will be even more powerful. You also have another healing spell called Dream Mist Potion. Sleeping on crisp, clean herb scented sheets always makes for the soundest sleep and the most delicious dreams. Here's a potion for dreamers: 4 drops of lavender, 3 drops of chamomile, 3 drops of orange oil, and 4 ounces of distilled spring water. Shake the oils and water in a colored glass spray bottle or mister. 15 minutes before you retire, spray your bed, linens, bath towel, pillow, and all around your room. You may want to keep a dream journal by your bed to record what happens during the night. You have money spells. Dispelling fear. Before a job interview, performance, or the moment when you ask the boss for a raise, you can turn to a success crystal as your lucky touchstone, such as peridot, jade, or citrine. Sit on the floor, legs crossed, and breathe deeply 9 times. Take the touchstone into your hands and chant, "That which came from the sky entered into me, as was the moon full, so am I now. And so I go with this light, full and bright, so mote it be." Repeat this at least 6 times until you feel the energy of the stone passing into you. You have another everyday spell, which is a box of rocks. Keep a magic wishing box on your desk. Every so often, look at it and make a wish upon your heart's desire. It's easy to make. Take a bowl or an empty box and fill it halfway with sand. Place the suggested wish stones in any arrangement you find pleasing. Agate for a new home, amethyst for spirituality, carnelian or lapis lazuli for a new job, coral for wanting children, fool's gold for money, and rose quartz for love. You have an altar spell, which is blade blessing. Your Adam and Bolin will each be very useful in your practical magic. To imbue each new tool with your personal energy, perform this speedy spell. Blade of metal so strong, you will serve me well and long. Spells we craft, together we belong. Blessings and magic bind this song. So mote it be, and so it is. Pass the blade metal through the flame of the white candle and repeat the words of the spell song. Keep both your Atham and your Bolin in your altars so their energies remain bound together. And last but not least, you have another healing spell. Elemental magic, wind. Wind is a harbinger of change. The west wind is especially potent for healing, while the south wind is known to bring new beginnings. You can carry this powerful instrument with you wherever you go by capturing the wind in a white cloth bag while standing facing the wind. Say this spell. Brother wind, around us you blow. All that is said All that is sad in this life, with you go. After the storm, I stand in the rain. I thank you now for all that I gain. With harm to none, this spell is begun. Tie the bag with a blue ribbon. Whenever you see a situation that could use a change for the better, you can pour forth some of the wind of positive change. All right, so that are the messages that I have for you today, my pile number 2. So what makes you different is that you are heavily aligned with your divine purpose, and you expand yourself, your loved ones, and the environment around you because of it. So I hope these messages resonated, and if so, please let me know. Maybe like the video, comment down below, whatever you feel like. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or evening. Bye. Hi, my pile 3s. If you've chosen this jade stone, then this is your pile. So I'm going to start with the description of the stone, and then we're going to move into the question of what makes you different. Alright, so jade is a prosperity dream stone. It allows one to release suppressed emotions. A stone of loyalty and fidelity. Helps one realize one's true potential. Bestows good fortune and peace. Protective. The affirmation for the stone is, I love life and it flows through me in ever greater abundance. Alright. So with your pile, right off the bat, we have, in terms of what makes you different, is this sense of loyalty and the sense of fidelity. There is I want to say like this golden retriever energy about you, but it's kind of more than that. It's a much more prosperous energy that brings very, very much good luck, good vibes to everywhere you go. But let's get into the reading. I'm gonna pull some oracles, and then we're gonna go into the tarot for more deeper descriptions. So, Divine Source, please tune me into my pile 3s. To my pile 3s, the jade stones, in terms of what makes them different. And first we have the hibiscus card. Beauty and happiness. A thing of beauty, and it's a joy forever. So, Divine Source, thank you. We also have magnolia. Nobility and self-esteem. There's nothing more noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. And we love that for you. Just one last card, if you can, for my pile 3s, in terms of what makes them different, if possible. For my pile 3s, last shuffle. Okay, I'm getting them down, so we're gonna leave it at those 2 cards to start with. Alright, so with the beauty and happiness and nobility and self-esteem, what makes you different is this very huge soul beauty that you carry. There's this sense of you staying in your lane and only being in competition with yourself. You don't look towards people around you in terms of how you move forward. This collective is very much the trailblazers of the world, you know. Just like my pile 1s, there's a sort of blueprints energy you give off, but what makes you different than my pile 1s is that there is a greater sense of confidence that you carry. There is a understanding. Ooh, you might be my muse pile. So, and what do I mean by that? I mean that you carry an energy that muses do in stories. You know, artists can't create their famous works without muses, you know. Leonardo da Vinci would have never created the Mona Lisa without Mona Lisa, you know, and you carry that Mona Lisa energy when it comes to your beauty, your grace, your smile, your face. That's what I was hearing. So there's something inherently beautiful about you, whether you want to admit that or not. But it definitely feels like you have the confidence to understand that your beauty is powerful. Your beauty is something that affords you a lot of privileges in life, and it gives you this greater sense of not only self-worth but soul attachment, and as well as this bodily maintenance you have. There's a huge self-care that you bring to yourself. You might have an established routine that you do both morning and night. You're very religious on making sure that you care for yourself, and in that ways that makes you very different, very unique, very beautiful. There is a routine that you like, a structure that you like, that you follow because you have so much self-love for yourself. And this is not because you're trying to exude a kind of performance to others. No, you naturally do these things because you like it, because you enjoy it, because you like giving back to yourself, because you like taking care of yourself, because you like healing yourself. You like to make sure that you have a beauty routine. A routine that makes you feel beautiful, not only on the outside, but the inside. It gives you a sense of confidence. It gives me very Virgo energy, and I love that for you because I'm a Virgo sun and North Node, as well as Mercury. So I heavily resonate with the Virgo energy. And so that's what it really feels like. I know technically Venusian energy is very Taurian, but I find that Virgos are a lot more diligent and more practical and more precise in the ways in which they do their, and the ways in which they move about life, you know. And that's not to, like, again, pit any competition towards Taurus and Virgo. You might be a Taurus or you might be a Virgo. Either way, you give off this energy of self-assurance, of independence, of self-sufficiency, and that's what makes you different. There's a dependableness about you that this jade kind of also brings, you know. Jade is heavily used in a lot of Chinese culture to symbolize prosperity, for good fortune, for abundance, for peace, and for good reason. It's been used through thousands, if not millennia of years, because it carries such a strong, such a willful, energetic signature about it. And that is you. That is you, my dear. That is you, my friends. Like, you are someone who has so much abundance because of the fact that you work hard towards it, you know? And you do it with such beauty, with such grace, and it gives me very, like, Disney princess vibes as well. And you might not like Disney, and that's so fair because Disney's pretty problematic. But when it comes to how they tell their stories about princesses, all the princesses have again, problematic in the sense also that there's not a lot of variety when it comes to, like, body images of the princesses. But that aside, in regards to the personalities of the princesses, there is always a regality that they carry. And that is the same with you. With this jade stone, And with these two cards, there is a huge regality that makes you different than the rest, you know? You have a royal presence about you wherever you go. And, you know, like, it doesn't mean that you came up in a background that was like super rich or anything. No, like, you could have been in a very broken home. You could have been in a really rough situation. You could have had a really rough path, but no one will know. No one assumes that about you because of the way you carry yourself. You carry yourself with such elegance, with such grace. You carry yourself with your head held high, that people assume this regality about you. Okay, let's move forward. Oh wow, that was super fast. Oh, and we love this. You have Sun in Leo, as well as Sun in Gemini. We love that for you so much. I think that is so fitting. I'm not gonna lie, because the Sun in Leo is very. It's the Sun in Leo, you know, like. A time of celebration of success, joy. There's a huge positivity, a huge gravitas around you. With Sun in Leo, you exude this very, very beautiful, very alluring, very magnetic presence wherever you go. And not only that, you have a very sharp mind to go along with it. With the Sun in Gemini, with communications, you have a very diplomatic, very charming way you move about life too. So people might look at you as a pretty face at first, and then you open your mouth and they're like, damn, like, I didn't expect that, because you're not someone who's a valley girl. You're not someone who's like performing to be an airhead in any way. You are someone who not only has the beauty, but you have the brains to match. And with that, it really gives your soul a sense of groundedness, a sense of self-assurance. There's a quiet confidence about you. It's not like you're like screaming out to the world, oh, I'm beautiful. No, like, you don't have to say anything. People just know. Wherever you go, wherever you enter a room, people feel this very alluring, very magnetic presence. And then once they get to know you, they're like, damn. People fall in love with you quickly because you not only are so beautiful on the outside, but on the inside as well. Ooh, chills. And we just got 1221, so there is a sense of mirroring you do to others around you as well. You show people what it can be like to be so beautiful. You show beauty around you. You give people a sense of their own beauty whenever you talk to others as well. And I think that's just so wonderful. And as I say that, I just want to like fix up this. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit more balanced. Yeah, you have a very balanced energy as well. You know, there's a very aesthetic vibe to you, and you do it because you know you can. You do it because you know that's what you like, and nothing's gonna really stop you. Yeah, all right. Can we get a few cards for my pal number 3? Let them know what makes them different. Divine source, please cut me into my. Thank you. Ooh, I love this transition because we have Kuan Yin, we have compassion, as well as Oya, we have power. Oh my lord. My pile number 3s. Let me just shift these things over. Okay. So with Oya and Kuan Yin, again, not only are you so beautiful, because I feel like I've been talking just about your beauty in such a large way, but these cards are here to remind you that your beauty carries down to the depths of your soul. There is an extreme powerfulness about yourself that you carry, especially with the Sun in Leo and the Sun in Gemini. There is actually, it feels like there's these balanced energies of this side being very much outwardly what people see of you. There's a very big power that you exude. There's a very big strength you exude, and it comes in the form of how you present yourself. As well as this side, when people get to know you deeper in a more compatible way, people see your confidence doesn't only exude outwardly, but it transfers over and it is penetrated deep within who you are. With this sense of compassion that you have, you bring that light, that beauty, that depth, that darkness wherever you go, and you extend it out to the people around you. You know, you're probably the one hyping up your friends. You're probably the one giving your family members beautiful gifts. Like, you move about the world in a way where your loved ones feel the warmth of your love. You communicate in such a way where it is so powerful. It is such a idol, like celebrity status that you bring, and sometimes it might make people feel jealous. You might get a lot of haters because of your magnetic energy, but once they meet you, they're just like, why was I hating on this person? Like, you can't make people hate you, because like the only people that actually hate you are people that don't actually know you, because they're jealous of you, because you exude this huge energy of wow, like of confidence, of power, of beauty, of lust, of magnetism, of ferocity, and then coupled with the fact that when people get to know you, you are just so diplomatic and charismatic and compassionate and kind. Your soul is this warm cup of tea on a hot day. Your soul is this refreshing, cool drink of water on a hot day. Your soul is the sun that shines, the rain that pours. It is the wind that blows and changes. It is the fire that lights up the darkest of nights. Your soul is everything and everywhere all at once. Your soul is the divine reincarnate, and it is such a exuberance and royal energy that you carry. It is so uplifting and joyful, and no one or nothing can really stop you. You know, people might want to bring you down, but you don't let them. People might say harsh words to you, and then you show them compassion and kindness, and then they're just like, oh shit, why did I do that? You mirror people back to them what they can be. You are the blueprint. You are someone who has done the work. You've done a lot of work on yourself. You've done a lot of dark nights of the soul. You've done a lot of soul searching. You've done a lot of compassionate kindness to yourself. And because of that, it exudes from your energy. It exudes from who you talk to. It exudes from how you care about yourself. And it's never going to be taken away by anyone. No one can take that away, because You have such a confidence, you have such a self-esteem, you have such a structural, deep, powered groundedness within who you are. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Because you just are magic manifestors. You attract so much, you know? You might be my group that watches Manifestel on YouTube, who are a spoiled girly, and if not, I highly recommend that channel because it really gives support to a lot of these girlies who like are going about a harsh patriarchal world and who need other beautiful girlies just like yourself to lean on, you know? So if you ever need a support group system because you might feel isolated because you just carry this regalness leadership about you, go to Manifestel. She's awesome. Highly recommends. Yeah, okay, let's go into your tarot and get a little bit more deeper on what makes you different. So what makes my pile of threes different? Divine Source, what makes my pile of threes different? If you can give a little bit more deeper descriptions. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords, the Four of Cups, the High Priestess, the Emperor, the Hierophant, Lord, and you have the Knights of Pentacles. If I can just get one more to even it out, thank you. Oh, it's two. Alright. You also have the Apologies. You have, okay. This is a new deck, so I have to look at the I feel like you have Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune as well. So let me double check for you. And let's not do it in Spanish. But you might be Hispanic. That's cool. Yeah, it's Justice. Okay, so not Judgment, but Justice. All right. Whew, you carry. Why am I not even surprised though? Like, okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards that came out for you. And if that's just not indicative of your major presence on this planet, then, you know, like, I hope this reading does you justice in that sense. And let's start with the Justice card. So the scales of justice are delicately balanced, and her sword cuts both ways to act in good faith now and receive an outcome. And that is something that you carry. Like, when I said earlier, you mirror people, that is kind of what I'm like, that is the kind of energy signature you carry, is this Justice card. Like, you put people in their place. You give me Regina George energy, which we love. We like Meg Thee Stallion energy, you know? Like, we love Renee Rapp energy. Like, we love, there is this, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck on how you perceive me. I don't give a fuck on what you think of me, because you have that confidence. And it's not to say you're not compassionate, because you obviously are, but with this Justice card, you're not afraid to tell it like it is. You know, you give justice to those around you. The people who are kind, the people who are soulful, the people who deserve your compassion, get your compassion. The people who are mean-spirited, bitter, jaded, but not this jade, but like, you know what I mean? Like, those who are more who live solely through their ego without any work of egoic dark night of the soul, you know, with people who have not integrated their ego into their soul, people who are walking blindly, people who are, I mean, blindly is not the best word to use, people who are like kind of acting like zombies, people who don't know themselves. You bring this justice and clarity to them, because the minute they act negatively towards you, you sweep in and you change it up. You let them know who they are, who they're speaking to, and how that's not right. And it also feels like it carries out to those around you. It feels like you are someone who speaks up for those who can't speak up for themselves. You speak up for the underdog. It feels like you're one of my girlies who is very much Free Palestine right now, who really does not condone genocide, who really is one to serve humanity. Yeah. Let's move forward. With the Eight of Swords in reverse, it feels like you're someone who you might have in childhood been a bit more naive, but you transferred that naive into naivete in your ways of growing up, and other than being imprisoned by things that might have hurt you in the past, for example, from jealousy, from other people who might have put you down, it feels like you have worked through yourself, worked through your heart, so that you no longer dim your light. You no longer hide away from who you are. You are someone who has gone past that stage and moved forward, so that you exude a confidence about yourself, and you're not going to dim yourself for anybody. With this Four of Cups, usually Four of Cups is someone who's a bit more stubborn when it comes to possessiveness, but with this Four of Cups, it feels like the person is more willing to see what divine has to offer. You know, there feels like even when you get into more depressive episodes, even when you get into more introspective and self-reflective times, you are able to look at the cup, see the cup, and be open to the emotions that flow through you, you know? And it feels like, it doesn't feel like this person is shunning the cup, you know? It feels like they've accumulated these cups, and now they're ready to move forward and process it. I'm seeing 11:11 on the clock. So you are someone who is very open to new beginnings. You're so stable within yourself that you take the opportunities that divine presents to you, and you are able to alchemize those to your own advantage. And what does that mean? That means, like, for example, it can be in any scenario. Let me give you a quote-unquote good, quote-unquote bad scenario. So for a good scenario, let's say you get a job offer. You are someone who looks at the job offer, sees it, and discerns whether that's good enough for you. And if it is, you move forward with that. A bad example would be someone who throws shit your way, someone who says a mean comment to you. You look at it, you self-reflect, and you take that as a lesson in itself. You take that as something that you don't internalize it. You see it for what it is, and you show compassion to others into, hey, like, that's not right. Why are you saying that? You're not afraid to speak up for yourself. Yeah. And that's a great transition towards the next card, which is the High Priestess. So look within yourself for guidance in this world and other worlds. In the depths of your soul lie secret wisdoms that no one else can reveal to you. And I think that is such a great description of you. I love how she's holding a card called the Toha, and it just really symbolizes this inner wisdom, this inner strength, this inner knowledge about yourself, of knowing that you are here to make waves. You are here to make changes. There is a deep, divine feminine essence about you that no one's gonna take away. And it's coupled with the Emperor as well, and the Hierophant. So with the Emperor and the Hierophant, you have a lot of structure, you have a lot of creativity, you are very authentic, and your service is always humble. You rule wisely, and that allows for people to recognize the changes they need to make, as well as the changes you need to make within yourself. Again, there's this regality about you that's paired with this humbleness. You know, you're someone who is just this force to be reckoned with, and it's like kind of like quiet luxury as well. You know, there's a regality to you, but you're not like showing it off with like brand names tattooed on you or whatever. You do it in such a graceful way. You do it in a way that affords you good luck, good fortune, prosperity. And you do it in such a divine way where you are very loving about it. You are someone very practical about it too. You know, you're willing to do the hard work and wait and be there for every step of the way, materially too. Like, you will do the practical steps needed in order for you to accomplish your goals. But you don't do it with force. You take it step by step, time by time. You do it and move in a way that allows you to be you and allows you to grow for who you are. And with that, you recognize that the cosmic order that humans can't comprehend is necessary. You know, there's life's ups and downs, but you accept them with gracefulness. You do not argue with the fates around you. You just trust. You have this empathy for the misfortune of others. You have this luck, this chance about you that makes you just so beautiful inside and out. And that's what makes you different from the rest. Yeah. Whew. That was one hella of a powerful reading. My pile 3s, you are this divine, beautiful being on all levels of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, soul wise. You are just so delicious, so royal, so regal, and I hope you can bask in that energy today. I really hope this reading resonated, and if so, please leave a like or a comment down below. If not, that's totally cool. I just hope this really gave you a stronger sense of what makes you different, and something that you can really soak up and enjoy for the rest of your time. Apologies. Yeah, so with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, or evening. Take care. Hi, Pollen 4s, if you chose this big boy sodalite gemstone, then this is your reading. I'm just gonna put it right here for now. Okay, so we're gonna do a description of the gemstone itself, and then we're gonna go into your oracle cards and tarot cards for the question of what makes you different. So sodalite. Sodalite brings clarity and eliminates confusion and encourages self-esteem and self-trust in others. Allows one to both recognize and communicate true feelings by enhancing truthful emotions. Good stone for those who can be sensitive. Very grounding. Alright, so this is for my sensitive babies. This is for my loves that are very psychic, very spiritually tuned, very gifted in traveling throughout the realms of both the mundane and the magical. Yeah. So let's get some more cards to answer the question of what makes you different. What makes my pile of fours different? And we start off with the Glockshanisha card. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it right. And it's love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew. Can we get a couple more cards, please? Thank you. We also have the Camellia card, which is of destiny. It is not the stars to hold our destiny, but ourselves. These are two William Shakespeare quotes, so you might be really gifted in English literature, in playwrights. You also have Apple Blossom, choices, knowledge, and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruits of fertility. And just thank you. And the last card, but certainly not least, you have pink rose, you have grace and sweetness. The pursuit of perfection then is the pursuit of sweetness and light. Alright, so what makes you different, my dear pile fours, is this this mystical, mysterious vibe that you bring to the table. Like, you go about the world in a way that is so sweet, so graceful. But it is also, it feels very mysterious. It feels very, very much like you know what's up, but you're not always gonna shout that out to the world, you know? You're gonna move in silence, you're gonna move. It's a very scorpionic energy that I feel from your pile. And it definitely feels like you're someone who has a very alluring, very magnetic kind of pull to you. Similar to my pile threes, but different in the ways in which there is a more mystical quality about you. There is more of a like my pile threes exuded more Leo, Virgoian energy, more like end of summer energy, where you guys kind of exude more of the beginning of fall, more of, or like the middle of fall, maybe even like fall into winter. Like, you exude an energy that's a bit more mature, a bit more reserved as well. Like, it kind of feels like Wednesday from the Addams Family, where she just gets all these men. and people who are very interested in her. And she's not really trying, you know? She's just doing her own thing, moving about the world in a way where she's very much someone who likes to be herself, unique, and not care about what others think. So it gives very much Scorpionic, very much Moon in Aquarius, very much Aquarian vibes generally, very much even dare I say kind of Piscean vibes too, in the ways that you're super mystical and super knowing and dreamy, but there is like this more protective harshness that you might perform in order to keep out those unwanted, you know? Like, it feels like you don't have the time to deal with you don't have the time to deal with haters, you know? Like you know, I feel like you are very grounded and you're not afraid to speak your truth. But with that, there's like this very like harsh, very like unique, very like punk rockish kind of public persona that you exude. But on the inside, you are a sweetheart, you are a teddy bear, you are someone who's so cozy and just so loving, and people wouldn't expect that of you at first. You are someone like who probably has opposites when it comes to your rising sign and your moon sign. They might be sister signs, but like the complete opposite. For example, my sun sign is my rising sign is Leo, which is the sun, but my moon sign is in Aquarius. Whereas for you, it feels flipped. It feels like your rising sign would be more Aquarian, but like your moon sign would be more Leo. Like there's more like there's a different outer appearance that you give off to others, but when you're at home, you are unexpectedly so warm and so caring and so kind. And that's not to say that you're not kind and caring in public. I think you just recognize that for your own safety, for your own protection, that you needed to create this persona that doesn't let in a lot of other energies, because you're so sensitive, because you're so in tune to your senses, and sensitivity is your superpower in the ways in which you can recognize what's for you and what's not. You might resonate with the empath kind of label. You might be a Heyoka empath. You might be shamanic in a sense, and because of that, you pick up on others' energies like that, you know. You also might pick on other people to like keep them out of your vicinity. For example, I forget her name. I think her name's Drew Alforo. Let me like double check. Oh yeah, Drew Afualo. And she's someone who kind of like, she just like gives it straight to all these bullshit men out there and all these misogynistic women out there. She gives it, like, she tells it like it is, and she's very forceful, very herself, very she's not gonna give a shit in terms of making people feel bad, because they need to feel bad, you know, because what they do and what they say is not appropriate and they shouldn't behave that way. So you're okay with shaming others for things that they should be shamed on, and you're not apologetic for it. And I love that for you, because that is such a Wednesday kind of vibe, you know, like you don't care what other people think of you, and that affords you this this very truthful communication to the outside public. Like, you're very much like, oh, like, you're gonna act stupid? Well, I'm gonna tell you you're stupid. Like, and it is just such a contrast, such a stark difference to who you are at home, who you are to your loved ones, because who you are to, well, like, who you are to your loved ones is very sweet. It's very, dare I say, trad wife kind of vibes. Like, you're someone who would be baking bread, making cookies, like, making sure that your loved ones are taken care of. Like, there is something about you that recognizes that your sensitivity to others affords you this homemaker vibes within the home, but outside, your knowledge, your wisdom, your sensitivity again to others knows that it's dangerous for you to always act that way to other people. You might have gone through some unfortunate experiences in your past where you had to become this persona in the public so that you protect yourself. You might have been essayed or CA'd in the past. You might have been stalked in the past. You might have had people come your way, because especially with this love at first sight card, it feels very much like you've had these experiences in order to cultivate a persona that is very protective of yourself on the outside, because you know in your heart of hearts, in your destiny, that you are this really beautiful, really graceful and sweet, loving, natured kind of person. And with roses especially, they are considered one of the most beautiful flowers, but they have thorns for protection. And that's how it really feels. It feels like you're only in bloom to those around you that you trust. But to those that don't know how to treat you right, you are the thorn that picks their skin. And it's a very tactful, very wise, very illuminated way of moving about the world. Ooh, yes. Okay, so let's move on to some more oracle cards for you. So for my pile number 4s, ooh, that's interesting. You have 2 Sagittarius cards. You have Eclipse in Sagittarius and Moon in Sagittarius. Success after a setback, as well as freedom and adventure. I can get one more card. Interesting. And what was I saying earlier about this Moon in Leo? Yeah, okay, so this feels more like your sun sign, and this feels more like, again, your moon sign, like who you truly resonate with on an emotional level. So when it comes to your more egoic nature, and egoic in the sense of integrated ego, of a sense of healthy ego, you're someone who is very adventurous. You are someone who loves to know things and find things and discover things and grow from knowledge You know, you take all the setbacks you've had in life, all the experiences that you've had in the past, and you use that to pivot towards your success, pivot towards your freedom, your adventure. You look at new experiences and ways and as a life lesson, and you recognize that they're always life lessons. You know, you're not afraid to fall. You're not afraid to get back up again. You know, like, you're not afraid to be the fool and have that leap of faith, because you recognize that that new experience is more knowledge for you, and that experience will be your best teacher. And I've been talking a lot about your more public persona, but again, and we touched upon this moon in Leo, there is just very much this heroic, kind, compassionate nature. There's a hero. There's an inner hero that wants to be let out. So just like my pile 3s, you are probably someone who speaks up for others. You are someone who roots for the underdog. You are someone who will bring justice to those that need. But what makes you different from my pile 3s is that, again, there's this quiet, silent moving about the way you do it. You know, there's a sense that you don't let people who don't deserve to know your true power in. You don't let those people know who you truly are, because you yourself already know you're this shining star. You know yourself that you are this generous and warm and heroic individual. You know, you will self-sacrifice, and because of that, you know to protect yourself from those that will just take from you. You protect yourself from extreme narcissists, because everyone is a narcissist, but whether or not you're a healthy one or an extreme one, that's the difference. And it feels like you have a very healthy form of narcissism in terms of how you view yourself as very healthy. You love yourself very much so, but you know that there are people out there that lie on those extremes, and that who has not done the work, and they just take and take advantage of your kindness. So you have really laid out a protective stance around you, because that's what it really feels like. It really feels like this huge protective, expansive energy, but at your core, it is like you have your heart locked in key, and you only give the key out to those that deserve to have the key, those that can take care of the heart, you know, those who have worked on themselves, who also have a very healthy narcissism to them. Woo! Yeah. And with the sodalite, it feels like you do have this really good self-esteem, or it's something that you're cultivating right now, and you're cultivating this recognition of who you can trust and who you can't. You like that's what makes you different. You have this huge discernment about you. There's just very much vibes of being able to be yourself, but recognizing the limitations that you have when it comes to how protective you need to be and the people around you. I'm getting the song Not My Fault by Renee Rapp and Meg Thee Stallion, so you might want to listen to that. it is such an anthem, and it really like kind of encapsulates like who you are. It's like, it's not your fault that people are in love with you, you know? Like, who you are and what you say, that's not your fault, and you know it. And yeah, you're very true to yourself, truthful in your emotions, and you can communicate and recognize them very well. Again, you're very sensitive to those around you, and you've honed in on that sensitivity and you made it your superpower, you know? Okay, let's move on. I feel like I need to touch on the Sagittarius aspects more, because although again I don't know why, like, because I do, because you carry such a protective energy, like it feels like you only want me, the energetic like reader, the public, to see this more like this more like protective public persona that you put on. But when you peel the layers back like an onion, you get the first layer. The first layer being that protective stance, being that more scorpionic like energy, that more Aquarian energy. And you peel it back, and then you peel it back again, and you get this like Sagittarian energy of freedom, of movement, of fun and adventure, of curiosity. Especially, you might be someone who loves to bury your nose in books. You love to find out and research more things. You love watching documentaries to find out about the world around you. There's a very intellectual and very higher knowledge seeker-esque parts about your soul that you have to, again, not a lot of people will know. Again, you might be very academically gifted, you might be very great in the classroom, you're very knowledgeable, like, and you have a very cerebral mind. And then when you peel those layers back more, you get this moon in Leo. You get this very warm, this very loving, compassionate, very heartwarming, domestic, and what's the word I'm looking for? Homemaker vibes about you. And again, I just find it super interesting. And yeah. So you have Bast, which is play, as well as Morgan Le Fay, which is magic. Wow, I've never gotten these two cards, so I think that's really cool. And because of that, we are going to read the description. We're going to start with Bast. It is time to relax and be playful. Seek a balance between work and fun. Learn difficult skill through discovery and play. Be curious. Yeah, that's how, like, if I were to look at your natal chart in terms of your rising sun and moon, your rising seems like in the realm of Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarian vibes, and then your sun sign feels very Sagittarius, Virgo vibes, and then your moon sign feels more like Leo, Cancer vibes, you know? And we're looking right now at your more sun sign kind of vibes. And again, this doesn't mean that this is who you are and like those are your actual signs in your chart, but like that's just what it feels like. That's the kind of energetic signature that you're carrying when it comes to what makes you different. So yeah. In ancient Egyptian, domestic cats were very much a part of the city and family life. In a time when rodents spread plague and disease, the services of a fine feline hunter were appreciated. Cats became symbols of protection and royalty, and were even mummified as companions and protectors of the dead in the afterlife. Bast was originally a lion goddess, somewhat like Sekhmet, but her leonine nature diminished in favor of the cat energy. Bast is an ancient goddess and is featured in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Statues of Bast usually depict either a woman with a cat's head or a regal, beautifully formed cat with royal symbols, and sometimes a lion mask, signifying a hidden, fierce nature. While Bast certainly offered protection to her worshippers in everyday life, she also demonstrated a loving, playful energy. The Greek historian Herodotus traveled to Egypt in the 5th century BC and wrote of his experiences of the festival of Bast at the riverside town of Bubastis. He told of people traveling down the river by small boat and playing the jesting with the people on the shore as they passed. The festival included great sacrifices, and more wine is drunk at this one festival than the whole rest of the year. Bast comes into your life as any cat does, powerfully yet playfully. She is wonderful to call upon when you feel depressed or low, as she helps you find what will make you feel happier. In our busy lives, it is easy to forget how to play, and with this comes an unnatural seriousness. As the saying suggests, all work and no play makes us very dull. You may indeed have forgotten how to play. Children play naturally and learn this way. As we get older, we gradually start to forget this skill. We may feel like we are too mature and be judged for having simple fun or have too many responsibilities to play like we used to. While our actions don't have to be the same, the enjoyment and sense of freedom should still be in our lives. Bast is also marvelously curious and can help you approach difficult issues with a sense of discovery rather than dread. You might enjoy widening your horizons by trying out for something you normally wouldn't, or learning something new. This energy of this feline goddess encourages you to satiate your curiosity. Ooh, and we love that. And I think like Bast coming into the reading really feels like there is a sense that your soul wants you to kind of openly be curious and to move into a state where like you are able and willing to show yourself, to let your guard down, let it fall, and let yourself go in more public settings. There's a playfulness that really wants to come out that is already deep within your soul. And it's just something that you usually are very reserved to showing others. So with this coming out is a very intuitive sense of being able to show that with the world. All right, and let's go with now Morgan Le Fay. Magic. You have power and it is real. A secret will be revealed. You have an unexpected ally. Seek the truth. Try some magic. We love that for you. In the powerful legend of Avalon, the Lady Morgan Le Fay is a key and yet changeable figure. A mighty sorceress with skills in magic to match Merlin's. Legends cast her both as a truth-seeking, harshly treated enchantress and as an evil witch plotting for half-brother Arthur's downfall. In the early tales, Morgan was either purely a member of the Fae, supernatural fairy spirit, or the talented sorceress daughter of Arthur's mother, Lady Ingran, and her first husband, Gerlos, the Duke of Cornwall. According to early Celtic myth, Morgan is a mistress of magic, a knowledgeable spellcrafter, and a healer of notes. The Celts also believe, because of Morgan Fay's origin, that she is a shapeshifter. And that really does feel like you. That in terms of what makes you different is that you can shapeshift quite heavily. As the myths developed further, Morgan became a mild antagonist to Arthur, attempting to expose Guinevere's adulterous ways or test those who were not loyal to him. As the mist evolved and became more Christianized, Morgan developed into a dark enemy who actively plotted Arthur's death. Her role changed so that she became a temptress who tricked him into making love with her, after which she bore him a son, Mordred. It is said that she trained Mordred to hate Arthur and wished to overthrow him as rightful king. Even though the stories portrayed her as a deadly enemy of Arthur, she was also one of the women who took Arthur in a barge to Avalon to be healed after his battle with Mordred. Here the story ends. Morgan Le Fay attempts to kill Arthur, indicating that it will take a long time. Morgan Le Fay enchants her way into your life to remind you that magic is indeed real, and the power of intention is great. There is magic in everything, nature, action, and especially ourselves. Though studying chemistry or physics can appeal to her for success, Morgan might be also tempting you to try some magic for your highest good and for the good of all. Morgan was caught up in many intrigues and lies, and when the veils finally lifted, she didn't always prosper. It is this aspect of her that reminds us that truth in all things is often the best way forward, even though it may be hard. Like, damn. Having those two cards come up, it really just feels like there's the inner part of you and your more moon and sun like energies really wants to come out into the public. It feels like you may have been persecuted in your past and that's why you have your guards up, but it feels like there wants to be an energy of you letting those guards down and really being more public about your magical, loving energy, you know? There's a part of you that wants to be seen, and that's what makes you different. There's a truth of you that wants to come out and be seen by the world. Although in your experiences in the past, it may not have been the easiest or the safest to do so. It feels like now what Divine Source really wants to guide you towards is for you to be yourself in more public spaces, in more spaces that might make you uncomfortable. It's that saying of feel the fear and do it anyways. Yeah, okay. We're gonna get two last cards. I was gonna give you tarot cards, but I don't think you need that. You have this love spell of Enchanted Lips. Before a special evening, employ a kiss of glamour by adding 1 drop of clove oil to your favorite pot of lip gloss and then gently stirring it while saying aloud 3 times. The ripest fruit, the perfect petal, each kiss is a spell of utmost bliss. Alright, if I can just get 1 card. That was too many. Thank you. And then you also have Moon Spell, Flower Moon Spell. I've actually done this spell, it's really nice. This invocation honors the season, planting seeds of positive change in your life. When the full moon of May reaches the highest point in the night sky, light 1 red and 1 green candle on your kitchen altar. Wind 3 stalks of jasmine and lavender into a crown for the top of your head. Holding an apple on each hand, speak this spell while circling the altar sunwise, clockwise 3 times. Luna flowers light the way to change tonight through the power of earth and air, water and fire. As I bite this fruit of knowledge, I am thus inspired. All possibilities are before me, and so it is. Okay, and we're gonna get 1 last card because I feel like you should. Of course. Okay. And your last card for the tarot is the Ace of Pentacles. So it feels like there's a practical step of you to move forward, and this might be that you might be a mystic, you might be a, because you're so sensitive in nature, you're someone who will have a more psychic, intuitive way of looking at the world. And there's like a calling from Source Divine for you to share that with the world, you know? And to let go of a lot of the guards that you've had up. I don't know why I want to keep pulling cards for you, but I do, so we will. I'm gonna pull 2 more cards for my pile of fours on terms of what makes them different. You have the Queen of Pentacles. And if we can just get 1 more card, that would be amazing. For my pile of fours, just to end off the reading. Thank you so much, Divine Source. And you also have the Empress. Of course you do. So here are 2 energies that really want you to move forward in terms of being more receptive with the world, of being more vulnerable with the world, and moving about the material world in your authentic way, in a way that is very aligned with Source Divine, and in a very confident way where you can be receptive and you can feel safe when moving about the world. Being more vulnerable with your emotions, especially. I'm hearing the song Cruel Summer because I'm seeing this garden. It's like the lines, I snuck into the garden gate every night just to seal my fate. And I screamed, for whatever it's worth, I loved you. Ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? You know, and it's having that openness and vulnerability to be loving and to have your loving nature really be put out there in the world. That is what Divine Source is calling to action for you. It is up to you whether or not you want to take it. But those are the messages I have for you today, my dear pile fours. I did not expect this to go on as long as it did, but I'm happy to provide messages to you. I hope whatever you're going through right now in terms of this shedding of the old skin and having more confidence in yourself and trusting others a bit more goes in the way in which you feel the safest and you feel the best possible outcome for you. I'm wishing you the best of luck on your journey, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Love you so much. Take care. Bye. Hi, my pile fives. If you've chosen this cute little heart snow quartz, then this is your pile. Alright, so first we're going to get into the description of your gemstone, and then we're going to go into the oracle and then tarot if we have the time. And we're going to be asking the question of what makes you different. So the description of snow quartz is a gentler, more soothing vibrational energy than clear quartz. Allows an individual to see the world through the innocent eyes of a child. The female version of clear quartz, this stone brings a calming and peaceful energy to whirlwind environments, provides clarity, discernment, and a great focus stone for studying or meditation. So with your pile so far, in terms of what makes you different, there is a childlike wonder that you carry through you, and not only it feels quite non-binary. I know it says the female version of clear quartz, but this pile feels very fluid in the way that it presents itself. Yeah, what makes you different is that you can embody all types of energies, and so far you're someone who is very cerebral in the way you move about the world, but it doesn't let you see it in a judgmental way. You see it very openly. You see it in a way where your mind allows you for greater potential and to see the world with greater potential. Okay, so let's go into your oracle cards. Divine Source, please tune me into my pile number 5s. And you have Garden Heliotrope as your first oracle. That is devotion and dreams fulfilled. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Aww. I think that's beautiful. And I feel like that really definitely highlights the innocence of a child. Like, you are a dreamer. You still allow yourselves to see the potential, to see your dreams fulfilled, to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Again, you don't let things you don't let the world get you down. You also have Forget-Me-Not, eternal memories. The best thing in life are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you made along the way. Forget-me-not. So you're definitely unforgettable in your energy signature when it comes to what makes you different. People remember your face, remember your energy, remember the childlike wonder you bring back to their souls whenever you meet them. What makes you different is that you are unforgettable. You have apple blossoms, choices, knowledge, and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruits of fertility. Yeah, and I think that really coincides with the cerebral energy that I was picking up on earlier. And last but not least, you have false indigo. Immersion and intuition. When you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense. So not only do you have that cerebral side to you, but you have this very psychic, intuitive nature where you can see past a lot of the things most people can't. And by that, I mean your childlike wonder and your openness to the world gives you a very perceptive and intuitive way of connecting back to the divine. You can see the world in a variety of winds, and you kind of see the world in a way where you can create stillness even through the winds of change. You're very connected to your childhood, to your childlike wonder, to your inner child. You've not let that go. You've not let the world kind of put you down. You've only strengthened and nurtured that inner child of yours, and you've kept that wonder-like perception and energy about you, which makes you different than the rest. Okay. Divine Source, please tune me into pile number 5. So you have Sun in Virgo. You reap what you sow, endeavor. Oh, we love that, because I am Sun in Virgo. So. You're very hardworking in nature. You know when to plant the seeds of what you want, and you know when to harvest them. You know that it takes hard work to get to where you are. And that seems to be a theme throughout this whole reading for all my piles, is that whoever comes to this channel understands the nature of working hard. And whoever comes to this channel recognizes that you don't just manifest by thinking about something, you manifest by putting in the physical work. It's just more highlighted in your everyday especially. You also have Moon in Cancer, a sensitive, introspective phase, belonging. My partner has his Moon in Cancer, it's very cute. Yeah, so with you, there's always a sense of belonging. There's a sense of belonging to the world itself, feeling like you belong with Divine Source. That again, there's this connectedness that you have when it comes to being able to fulfill your dreams in divine order with divine timing. You know, you intuitively know when it's your turn to do something. For example, you know, you probably are someone who can know who's calling before someone calls. You know, like you have that psychic sense about you that you can just feel and anticipate things because you have this connectedness to Source. You might, I'm hearing child of God, like God's favorite. I don't know whether or not you do, what religion you practice, but God as in, again, Source Divine, whatever you want to call it, but you are someone that's highly favored by the Divine. You are highly loved by the spiritual beings on the ethereal plane. You are highly cared for and protected and nurtured by Source Divine because you carry an energetic signature that is just so youthful and innocent and loving, and it's something that's very needed on this earth. Okay. You also have Moon in Gemini, indecision. That's so funny because I was like, with the card, should I take it? And this card is, should I stay or should I go? So there is a discernment that you carry, or that is needed from you quite a lot. With what makes you different is that you are afforded a bunch of different types of opportunities, and with that you are afforded with also the task of choosing in which way you want to go. It feels like you have a freedom to write out where you want to take your life and how you want to go about living your life, and with that comes some indecision. So that is very parallel to the snow quartz, because snow quartz provides clarity, discernment, and a great focus stone for studying or meditation. So you might want to grab some snow quartz for you. You know, you might feel called to just pick up some snow quartz at your local rock store, metaphysical store. I love this for you. This is Moon in Aquarius, your inner wild child awakens, free spirit. Wow, this feels like my pile because my sun is in Virgo and my moon is in Aquarius. So with this, it really does feel like you do have a very childlike wonder, very free spirit. At the end of the day, you don't really care what anyone thinks of you. You will do what you need necessary, and you will light up your fire. You will nurture your inner child. You will do what's best for you. Like, you will go up and sing a karaoke song regardless, and you won't give a shit who listens to it because it's your favorite song and you want to sing. You know, you have a very much joyful and connected nature to you that allows you to be who you are regardless of what scenario you're in. And you have a side to you where you really don't care about the judgment of others. You're still gonna do it anyways. This feels like the continuation of the sodalite pile, but the pile number 4s, but it feels like you've kind of mastered being able to be your authentic self into the world, you know? Like, it feels like you can encapsulate all of yourself and go back to your childhood and really bring that into the future of who you are and who you want to be. Oh, that's a lot. I can just get one more card. Divine Source. I'm gonna do one last shuffle, and if nothing comes out, then nothing comes out. Okay, so we're gonna move on with that, and we're gonna put this here actually. So I'm getting also that you might have felt in your younger years that you didn't belong because of the ways in which you see the world. You are probably, with this moon Aquarius especially, very progressive. And it's something that you don't like because you want the world to see your progressiveness as normal. You want to see the world be a lot more humane and kind-hearted and good-spirited. And it's hard because that's what makes you kind of indecisive sometimes, because it feels like you're pulled in all these different ways and you want to go the way in which you feel necessary to go in ways and morals that are resonant with you, but then there's all these other people around you that have such different ways of being, and it almost like can pull you in different directions, but you'll always come back to that very authentic, very inner child like you. But as you move forward in the world, I think it's something to keep in mind when it comes to your sense of belonging and deciding where to go next. Yeah, for example, you might be very feminist and you live in a very patriarchal world, and with that you might be surrounded by people who have very patriarchal viewpoints, and it might be really hard for you to feel like yourself because what you do is so against what others want from you, and what you do breaks the mold and breaks the perceptions of what people feel like you should be. And with that, Source Divine wants to give and relay the message of keep being you, because your vision of the world is what's needed. Your vision of the world is what's going to comfort others. It's going to bring so much freedom to others. It's going to give you this very interesting path in life, because you will be able to travel with your higher knowledge to other places and give that knowledge out to other people. You will change the environments around you. So when it comes to belonging, just remember that you always belong. You always belong in your heart, your spirit, to Source Divine. You will always have your faith to come back to, and you won't need to ever fit yourself into boxes that weren't meant for you. You don't need to squeeze yourself into seats at the table where you know you deserve a better table, a bigger table, a table that is much more resonant with your soul. So again, if you're surrounded by people right now who are not the most resonant with you, just know that you're meant to change their minds, and when it gets too much for you, it is okay to let them go and move forward. Okay, And that might be something that's hard for you because you are such a sweet, such a innocent, such a, again, childlike being. You see the world's like through like the eyes of an innocent child, and that is super rare, you know? That's what makes you so different, is that you have a vision of the world that is so pure, that is very, very much of a heart-filled peace and tranquility. And it's not like you're not ready to fight for what's right. It's just your sense of justice, your sense of freedom, your sense of what's right is very aligned with what the divine wants. It's very aligned with what's best for humanity, especially in this age of Aquarius. It is something that looks out for everybody. It's something that recognizes everybody for who they are, regardless of what they look like, regardless of their nationality, their skin color, their religion, their orients. Like that has no effect if, you know, if their soul isn't there. And your soul is there. Your soul aligns with this very harmonious, very loving, very compassionate nature. One that accepts everybody, that's an unconditionally loving. And with that, there just feels like you're an unforgettable character. And sometimes there is the need for you to protect yourself from those who might be a bit more jaded, a bit more bitter, a lot less ambitious, especially. You know, you, with this sun in Virgo, you work hard for what you have. And if people are mad about it, let them stay mad. Because honestly, like, they really don't deserve your time, your peace, your energy, or your presence. Okay. Let's get some, thank you. You have Aphrodite, self-love. Oh, we love that for you. We love Aphrodite here. There's a lot of self-love that you carry, and it's something that people want. People want to be you. People either want you or want to be you. And with that, it can, like, you know, cause some jealous vibes from other people. But as long as you continue to focus on yourself, continue to center yourself in your life and in your story, then you will deter away from those who don't have self-love. You also have White Buffalo Woman, peace. And that's what I was saying quite often, is that you have this sense of peace in yourself. You have a nature that is very peaceful. And with that doesn't mean that you're not ready to fight. Again, with the story of the White Buffalo Woman, is that there are two men who come and see this White Buffalo Woman and are like, hey, one of them's like, hey, I want to wife you up. And the other one's like, what are you doing? You should respect her for who she is. Leave her alone. And so, like, when the two men approach her, she basically X's off the one who wants to be, who wants to wife her up, and then she really regards the one who respects her as someone that she can communicate with and be diplomatic with, you know? So again, just be wary of those who want to basically kind of possess you, like people who want to take advantage of your kindness, people who don't appreciate you for who you are. There is definitely a protective element that you have already within yourself and that you can exude outwardly. I'm just reminding you of it. And I'm just telling you that's what makes you different. Yeah, okay, so what makes you different is that people look at your childlike wonder and they're like, ooh, the more loser-like energy. And people, when I say loser-like, I mean people who have lost themselves, people who don't know themselves. That kind of energy will want to pull and tug and tear away from who you are, but they also want to take advantage of your kindness. What makes you different though is that you don't allow them to be. Like, you might be sweet and innocent like a child, but you are not a pushover. You are someone who will stand your ground, put up your boundaries, and be like, no. You will say no, you know? You have such a energy of self-love and self-acceptance that people who feel like they can take advantage of you won't, you know? You are there for the people who will respect and treat you with the utmost kindness, with the utmost respect. You are for the people who see your beauty and see you for who you are and respect it. You are for those who work hard to maintain the relationship with you because they themselves also have self-love. So that's what makes you different. You attract those. You attract all, but your level of discernment will be great when in regards to relationships. If I can just have one last card, I would appreciate it. Oh, okay. Thank you. Wow, that's great. Okay. It was trying to like get me to have this, but this is at the bottom of the deck. And then, anyways, this is Kuan Yin, compassion. So you're a very compassionate soul. What makes you different is that you are so loving and kind, and you can put yourself in the shoes of someone else. You can see the world from the perspective of someone else. Your innocence and childlike wonder gives you this openness where you're not closed off to other energies. You can look at it from so many perspectives. You can put on so many different hats, and you have so many different lenses that you can see from. And by that I mean, like, say that like you have two friends who are in conflict. You can see both sides of the story, and you can also see the neutral side of what divine is trying to guide them towards, you know? And so you can have compassion for almost anyone, and if not everyone. It feels like even those who have wronged you, you have compassion for them. And it's not to say that you let them back in your life. It's not to say that you let them take advantage. No. It's to say that you recognize why they treat you the way they treat you, and you can move forward in those spaces protective of yourself, but with the understanding that they are broken, that they are hurt, that they have lost themselves, and they are at a level of a level of evolution that is a lot less evolved than you are, you know? If I were to say, like, through souls, you have the wisdom of an old soul, even though you have this childlike wonder to you. And then I think that's also what gives you that childlike wonder, is the fact that you do have an older soul. So you do have the understanding of being in a more free, childlike state, which allows you to experience more in a very joyful and fun and compassionate way, where you can have your dreams fulfilled, you can make really great memories along the way, and you can use both your intuition and your intelligence to get you there. You know, you have a good head on your shoulders, and that's what people don't expect of you. And that's what makes you different. It's because you carry a childlike wonder quite heavily. People don't think that you have a good head on your shoulders at first, but once they meet you, they recognize, oh wow, yeah, this person is so dependable. This person is Sun Virgo. This person is someone that like gets shit done, you know? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get you some tarot cards just to dive deeper into what makes you different. That was really fast. You have the Moon card. You have the Moon to start. And I think that really just like highlights your intuitiveness and how that intuition guides you into having your dreams fulfilled. I can have just a couple more cards. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. Okay, we have the Fool. I guess we're taking them all. If we're gonna take on them, we're gonna take them all. We have the Fool card. And again, that just highlights your willingness to be open and to leap into faith. You know, it's your willingness to, I would show it up more, but like, I don't think it's appropriate for YouTube standards, unfortunately. But yeah, like with the Fool, a fool doesn't mean you're a fool, you know, it doesn't mean like, oh, like you're foolish. No, with the Fool, like when it's in reverse it does, but when it's upright, it means that you're willing to take risks. You're willing to go for challenges and go in a way where the divine will lead you. You know, you're not scared to take on new beginnings. You also have the Magician. And you have the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, the King of Swords, oh Lord, the Queen of Swords, and you have the Knight of Swords. Wow, you carry a lot of sword energy, and I feel like that's really to highlight how intellectual you really are, how smart you really are, how well endowed with your words you really choose to present yourself to be. You are probably very charismatic in the way you speak. You probably have a very sharp tongue to those that are harmful to you. Again, with these cards, it feels like you know when to take rest whenever you need to. You know when to walk away from people or conflicts. You know how to discern yourself when it comes to that too. You know how to come to the aid of those who will need your help. And you have a very balanced way, a very peaceful way, a very diplomatic way of condoning yourself through anything that comes towards you. It feels like you've mastered quite a bit when it comes to, especially when it comes to the way you speak and communicate, you know? And Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, which you also have the Moon in Gemini too. So it's like, whereas Gemini is a little bit more discombobulated, mercurially, I find that like Virgo is like the more developed sign of, and not to say that Gemini is like always discombobulated, it's just that they move at a such quicker and faster rate that sometimes they need a second to like to really like digest what they've processed and what they're saying. You know, I find that with Virgos though, they have such an analytical mind that when they speak, they choose their words very carefully. So again, you carry both aspects. And I'm not trying to say Geminis are always discombobulated. No, I'm trying to say that, Geminis have a different communication style, and you also carry that communication style of being very social, very sociable, very charming, you know? Geminis are social butterflies a lot more than Virgos are, you know? Virgos are hermits. So I'm just trying to say that you have mastered the mercurial minds. You have mastered this cerebral sense of who you are, and it goes even deeper than that, because you also know how to really go to the depths of your emotions, to the depths of your spirit, to your soul, and use your intuition that the divine has given you, and use it so that you make the decisions that you need to. Okay, we're gonna get one last card for you. See if it comes out this time. Divine Source, if you can have just one last card. Okay, 2 cards came out there, so I don't want to take either of them. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. You have Eclipse in Virgo. Choose duties, responsibilities carefully. And I think that pairs super well with the Moon in Gemini and Indecision. So whenever you are indecisive, or whenever you feel a bit more confused, a bit more airy, I guess, ground yourself in the energy of Virgo and choose your duties and responsibilities carefully. Reorganize yourself, reorganize your life, you know. Be able to clean out your closet and release things that don't serve you, you know. Like when it comes to making decisions, moving forward especially, make sure you make those decisions out of recognizing who you are and the responsibilities you carry in this lifetime. Because since you carry such a childlike wonder, it is going to be very necessary for the healing of this planet. And it starts with yourself. It starts with yourself and the relationships that you keep. And so with that, it's just a reminder that you have the power, the intellect, the knowledge. You literally have resources at will. You have the adventurous spirit and the openness and readiness to change. You have the intuitive capabilities to really move you forward in this world, and you have the swords necessary for you to fight back whenever you need to. So with that, I'm getting the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's just something that makes you different. You hold this immense power, this immense childlike wonder that gives you the responsibilities of healing the world, healing yourself, loving others, being unconditional, and moving in a way that is so so closely connected and tied to the divine. All right, I'm getting that's it. That's all the messages I have for you today, my pile number 5s. It's been a pleasure to read for you, and I hope this resonated. If it did, please like or comment down below. And I hope you have a great day, night, or evening. I'll see you in the next one.